Hi everyone, and welcome inside Citrus TV Studios for our webisode of the week. I'm Gabriella Rusk alongside Michael Barth and Matt Ryle. Guys, we've got Syracuse and Duke at Cameron Indoor, but where would you both rather camp out? Would it be Boeheimville or Krzyzewskiville? Michael?
Well, Gabby, I see no reason to leave Central New York. It's a great place. Boeheimville has a lot of tradition. Watching a game in the Carrier Dome, nothing better than that. So I would rather stay in Syracuse, camp out in the freezing cold. Tough, you gotta stay tough, but don't want to leave.
I think you're a little bit crazy here. The question was, where do you want to camp out? So, the obvious answer is Krzyzewskiville. It's like 60 degrees in North Carolina and -10 in Syracuse. Come on, there's no comparison. It's obviously Krzyzewskiville.
Well, these two campsites are named after the two winningest coaches in college basketball. Let's take a look at their careers. With over 40 years in the NCAA, Coach K has had more success with 4 NCAA championships. Both the two coaches are great friends. They've spent great time coaching for the Olympic basketball team and Team USA. It's easy to say that these two are sort of what college basketball is all about.
Exactly, Gabby. These two represent what the best qualities of college basketball. Two of the greatest coaches of all time. You wouldn't want anybody else running your program. Both coaches are just considered legendary coaches, and Coach K has the edge with Boeheim in national championships. Boeheim has had his chances in Final Fours, just haven't been able to get it done. But either way, when these two come together, whether they're against each other or coaching with each other with Team USA, nothing better for college basketball.
I agree with you. There's not two guys you want to run your program other than these two. They are on the Mount Olympus of college basketball. You look at what Krzyzewski's done. 4 national championships, over 1,000 wins. And Boeheim, he may have been at 1,000 wins had he not, had one less season than Krzyzewski. So, also, you mentioned the Olympics, and if you see what Coach K has done with those Olympic guys, it makes you think this guy could potentially be not just the best coach in NCAA history, but one of the best coaches of all time, and that includes the NBA.
Yeah, they've certainly been an X factor for their two schools, but what about this game? Who are your players that are your X factors for this upcoming game?
Gabby, I'm going to take a look at the matchup between Rakeem Christmas and Jahlil Okafor and Rakeem Christmas. This game is going to come down to this matchup. Last time these two teams played, Jahlil Okafor had 23 points, 13 rebounds. Rakeem Christmas, 11 points, 6 rebounds, one of his worst of the season. A lot of people criticized Rack after the game, saying he just wasn't good enough to play against the freshman phenom. But I think Rack has it in him, and if he can win this matchup either offensively or defensively, they're going to win this game. But Rakeem Christmas has to step up and play well.
I'm going to go on the Duke side of the ball. I'm going to go with the kind of the forgotten man in the freshman trio, Justice Winslow. The one thing you've noticed this year is Duke lost 2 consecutive games in the middle of the year. And both those games were to Miami and NC State. And in both those games, Winslow struggled. So you kind of see a trend when he struggles, Duke struggles. The game against NC State, 3 for 13, only 10 points. The game against Miami, 1 for 6, only 2 points. And that kind of shows you that he's kind of the heartbeat of their team. People undervalue him a little bit. They always talk about Tyus Jones and Jahlil Okafor, but this guy, is a little engine that makes him run.
But Winslow and Duke didn't struggle the last time Duke came to the Carrier Dome. The final score of that game was 80-72. Guys, Matt, starting with you, what's your prediction for this game?
75-64 Duke. We're not playing in the Carrier Dome this time, so I think that kind of takes away the close game factor. Obviously they're rivals. You're always going to get Syracuse's best shot, but I just don't think they have the talent to match up with Duke. You have Quinn Cook, Winslow, Okafor, Jones. Who can match up with all those guys? Only Rack do we really have who's a star on this team.
I think Syracuse will be riding high with emotion after that big win on the road against Notre Dame. So I think this game's going to be a little closer, 70-65. Syracuse is going to give it their all. It's been a trend all year, good but not good enough. It's going to stay the same for this Duke game. Jahlil Okafor will be too much for this team, and they won't be able to pull it out. 70-65, Duke takes it.
Well, we'll have to see what happens on Saturday. Be sure to follow Citrus TV on Twitter and on Facebook for all the game updates for the game on Saturday in Cameron Indoor. For Michael and Matt, I'm Gabriella. That's all the time we've got for the web, but tune in to our full show on OTN and Time Warner. Thanks for watching.